Good day, everyone, and welcome to the discussion of forecasting techniques for demand and supply analysis. This topic is still part of Chapter 3 of your feasibility study, which is the market study, and this will be useful in computing for the projected demand and supply. For those who haven't yet subscribed on my channel, please subscribe. And for those who are watching right now, kindly comment done after watching the video. One technique that we could use in projecting for demand or supply is the percent of increase method. But using this technique, you must have a reliable source of the percentage that you're going to use. So you have to be very careful in looking for the sources of the percentage increase. So let us say, for example, you will cater to the different patients or to the different persons that needs or who needs medical treatment. And based on the data you've gathered, the number of patients or number of persons that needs treatment year 2020 is 500,000. And then, based also on your reliable source, there will be an annual increase of 10% on the number of patients or number of people that needs medical treatment. So with that, from your 2020 number of patients, which is 500,000, all you have to do is to add 10% on it. So 10% of 500,000 is 50,000. So by year 2021, the projected number of patients will be 550. So by 2022, you will just add additional 10%. And then for 2023, you will add again another 10%. So that is how you're going to make the projection. But class, again, you have to be very careful in using this forecasting technique because you must able to get it from the reliable source. The next technique that I will teach you is the linear trend projection method. So most of the different feasibility studies make use of the linear trend projection method for computing for the forecasted demand and supply of their product. In using the linear trend projection method, I will use the number of families or households in Bataan as my target market. But again, the figures that I have here on my example are just for classroom purposes only, for computation purposes only, and it does not represent any of the data that you had submitted to me. So, hindi talaga ito yung galing sa PSA, hindi talaga ito yung nanggaling doon sa mga website na mga pinagkuhanan ninyo. So, gawa ko lang itong mga figures na to. So, let us say, ang target market natin ay families or households in Bataan. Diyan magmumula yung demand natin. Kasi nga, kung ang product natin, let us say again, is coffee, or ang product natin ay condiments, ang product natin ay sabong pampaligo, so that will be for family or household consumption. At kung ilan yung average daily usage nila, doon natin possible makuha yung demand sa product natin. So we are using itong mga forecasting technique na to para sa ating demand and supply analysis. So whether we are computing for the projected demand or projected supply, pareho lang din yung manner ng computation natin na ibibigay ko mamaya. But again, if you will be computing for the projected demand, iba yung source natin ng demand because we need the consumption. At kapag supply naman, we have the our competitors or manufacturers or producers of those products kasi kailangan naman nating maipakita ay ang production. So, in example, ang product natin ay tocino. So, how are we going to establish the demand for tocino? So, ito yung mga uri pa rin ng product na for household or family consumption, kaya yung demand natin pwedeng mag-umpisa sa number of households in Bataan or Balanga kung iyan ang target ninyo. So, what I have here on my screen, again, gawa ko lang to, hindi talaga ito yung household sa Bataan or Balanga from 2016 to 2020. So as what I have told you before class, it will be difficult for us to get data for consumption. So maswerte yung mga grupo na may nakuha kayong mga data or may mga sources kayo ng consumption. Pero kung wala naman, wag kayong malungkot kasi we could derive data kung ang target naman natin, ang target market naman natin ay members ng population natin or the number of families or households. So let us say nga for in case ang product natin ay fish tocino, so, pwede tayong magdepende. Yung demand natin, pwede nating ma-derive coming from the number of households. So, for linear trend projection method, we have to create a linear trend projection table. Okay, so titigan ang itsura ng linear trend projection table. It is consists of 5 columns. So actually class, yung first column, iyan yung year na nakuha natin coming from our sources. So kung iyan ay 5 years na binigay ng PSA or 5 years na binigay doon sa website ng Bataan, or let us say, ang kinocompute naman natin ay supply, nakuha natin sa data ng mga distributors, suppliers, or manufacturers, year 2016 to 2020 yung binigay sa atin. So, iyan yung lalagay natin sa first column. So, that would appear on our linear trend projection table. Then, tung nasa third column natin, ito naman yung binigay sa ating data na whether population siya, or families, or number ng household, or kung ang target natin ay, let us say, food processing business sa Bataan, number ng canteens, number ng mga colleges sa buong Bataan. So, kung ang target naman natin ay number ng restaurant, number ng bakeries, yan, no? So, iyan yung ilalagay natin sa third column, and that will be the value of Y. Then, yung value ng X, ito yung medyo critical kasi tayo ang mag-a-assign nito. Yung XY naman, yung fourth column, at yung X squared, we could able to get that kapag alam na natin yung value ng X natin. Kasi you just have to multiply X with Y, and sa last column natin, you just have to multiply X by itself. So, how are we going to get the value of X? So, that will depend kung ang data na binigay sa atin, ang number of periods niya ay even number or odd number. So, let us say, for example, 2016 to 2020. So, iyan ay 5 years. Lahat-lahat. So, 5 is considered as an odd number. At kapag odd number, meron siyang sentro, meron siyang gitna. So, from 2016 to 2020, ang sentro niya ay 2018. So, you will assign 0 doon sa sentro na number natin, sa center number natin. And then, all figures above 0 will be negative and all figures below 0 will be positive. Then, saan nakuha yung negative 1, negative 3? Since odd ang ating number of years, 5 years is an odd number, yung pag-assign natin ng value ng x will be odd numbers as well. So that's why from 0, we have -1, then -3. Then sa baba naman, we have 1 and +3. Okay, so what the data given to us consists of 4 years only. And 4 is considered as an even number. So kapag even number, wala tayong sentro, walang gitna, di ba? Pero yung even number, nakahati mo naman siya equally. So yung 2017 to 2020, let us say iyan ang nakuha natin. So nung nanghingi tayo ng households in Bataan, binigay sa atin 4 na taon lang. Pinrint nila, binigay sa atin 4 years lang. Or yung nakita natin sa website ng isang kumpanya, 4 years lang. So, bale, hatiin natin siya sa gitna, lalabas in between ng 2018-2019. So, iyon, dun tayo magkakaroon ng division, then all numbers above will be negative and all numbers below will be positive. Then you follow the usual way of counting numbers. So, hindi mo na siya gagamitan ng even. Yung add, applicable lang kapag add ang periods. Pero kapag even, you follow the normal way of counting numbers. Okay, so on our right naman, so another example, so what if 3 years ang binigay sa atin? 2018 up to 2020. So, 3 years, 3 is an odd number, at meron siyang gitna, ang gitna niya is 2019, so you assign 0 on it. Then, yung figures above will be -1 and figure below will be +1. So, kagaya nung kaninang example natin na 5 years, ang kasunod ng -1 will be -3, -5, -7. Sa ibaba naman, that will be +1, +3, +5, +7. So, critical sa pag-create ng linear table ang assignment ng X. Okay, so, another set of example. So, what if medyo galante yung source natin, binigay sa atin 6 years. So, it's an even number. So, hanapin lang natin, hatiin ulit sa gitna. You follow the normal way of counting numbers. All figures above will be negative and figures below will be positive. So, kung madadagdagan pa yan, after -3, it will be -4, -5. And then, for 2020, kung 2021 na kasunod niyan, we have +4, then 2022, that is +5. So, that's how you assign the value of X. So, you have to determine first if it is an odd or even. So, etong nasa right side natin, class, iyan naman yung nasa example natin. So again, 5 years ang binigay sa atin. So that will be 0, -1, -3, -5 kung meron pa sa taas. Then sa 2019, it will be +1 followed by 3. So ang kasunod niyan is 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Puro mga odd numbers na. Since we now know how to assign the value of X, and again, with the value of X that we assigned already, we could now complete our table. So you could now have xy and x squared. So just multiply x by y. Again, the number of households, the number of population, the number of supply by your manufacturer, iyan yung ilalagay natin sa column ng y. Okay, so we have xy sa fourth column natin and x squared sa last column natin. So we have -3 times -3 is +9. -1 times -1 is +1. Okay, then for xy, you multiply -3 with 990,348. Then -1 multiplied by 1,019,000 52, and then continue it with the rest of the years. Then after that, so yung mga marunong sa Excel, kuhanin lang natin yung total. That will be the summation of y para sa third column natin, summation of xy, and summation of x squared. So take note yung mga kinuha natin na total na yan na nasa ibaba ng table natin, because that will be used in computing for our projected number of households that we could use for the computation of our demand. So the computation of the value of our number of households, our projection will be y is equal to a plus bx. We still need to compute for A, we still need to compute for B. So itong nasa ilalim class, summation of y, summation of xy, summation of x squared, galing to sa table. Nilagay ko lang dito sa slide na to para makita ninyo kung saan nanggaling yung mga ilalagay natin in computing for A and B. So before we can compute for y, which is our projected number of households or projected population, projected number of schools, projected number of restaurants, no? Projected number of teenagers, we still need to compute for A and B. So A is equal to summation of y, yung galing sa table natin, over n. So saan nakuha yung n na 5? 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5 years. So that's why the value of n is 5. So we will get A as 1,049,467. So in case 4 years lang ang binigay sa atin, the value of n will be 4. If what was given to us are 6 years, so the value of n will be 6. If it's just 3 years, the value of n will be 3. Okay, then let's move on to the value of b. It's summation of xy over summation of x squared. So substituting the summation that we have on our table, now we have 419,856 over 20. So we have B as 20,993. So yan nga yung value ng A at B na yan ang kukumpleto ngayon para ma-solve na natin yung value ng Y. Because Y is equal to A plus BX. So the formula again is y is equal to a plus bx. So our data are from 2016 to 2020. So we could now make projections for the next 5 years. So let us say 2021 to 2025. So sa inyo, possible na 2022 hanggang 2026 yan. Depende sa naka-indicate sa Gantt chart ninyo kung hanggang anong year yung projection natin, basta next 5 years. So kung mapapansin ninyo, yung computation natin, A plus BX, yung A at saka B, pareho lang naman palagi. No? So, from 2021 hanggang 2025, yung A at B na na-solve natin, iyan lang naman ang lagi natin gagamitin. Kaya lang magkakaiba-iba sila sa value ng X. So, meron tayo sa 2021, yung X natin is 5, 2022, 7, then year after that is 9, then 11, and 13. Okay, then Y is equal to A plus BX. We have our projected demand of 1,154,431 hanggang sa dun sa makukuha natin for 2025. But before that, bago tayo doon sa third column natin, which is our projection, establish muna natin saan na pagkukuha tong X na to na 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. Yan. So, actually, galing siya doon sa value ng X natin. yung upper part natin dito sa left side, yung 2016 to 2020, iyan yung nasa linear trend table natin. Yan yung inassign natin na X. Then yung projection natin from 2021 to 2025, ididiretso lang natin. So since nagmula tayo sa odd number, nahinto tayo sa 3, next to it is 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. So iyan yung ginamit natin para makompute si Y is equal to A plus PX. So on the right side, just in case naman, no? Na 6 years yung binigay sa atin. Kunwari, hindi 5 years, 6 years. So, ganito naman natin kukuhanin yung value ng X. So, nahinto tayo sa 2020 sa 3. After 3, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So, take note again, pag odd number ang magkakasunod. Pag even number, it's just the usual way of counting the numbers. So, let's go back to our computation. With that, malinaw na kung paano nakuha si X. Kaya, makukuha na natin ang ating projected number of households para makuha natin ang ating projected demand. So, again, itong computation natin na to, applicable siya whether you are computing for the demand or supply. Actually, class, yung haba ng discussion natin about the computation, it's just our stepping stone para makompute natin yung demand. So, sabi natin, makukompute natin yung demand for tocino pag nalaman natin kung gaano kadami yung families. And then, from the number of households or families, kailangan malaman natin yung average consumption nila ng tocino products para makuha natin talaga kung ilang kilos ang nakoconsume ng mga taga-Bataan or taga-Balanga in a matter of 1 year. So, etong nasa screen ninyo, yung year column at saka itong column ng households, eto yung kinompute natin using the linear trend projection method. And then, kailangan pa rin natin ulit mag-research, makakuha ng reliable source. So, in example, so sabi daw, ang weekly consumption, the weekly consumption of every family in the Philippines or in Bataan or in Balanga for tocino products is 1/4 or 0.25 kilo in a week. Yan. So with that, yung number of household natin, multiply lang natin sa 0.25 or 1/4 or 250 grams or 0.25 na lang para mas madali. Makukuha natin yung weekly consumption ng buong Bataan, ng lahat ng household sa Bataan, yung weekly consumption nila ng tocino. Yan. And then, if we want to get, of course, ang kailangan natin is the annual consumption. And there are 52 weeks in a year. Yung nasa fourth column natin is just good for 1 week. So, kailangan natin 52 weeks. So, you have to multiply it by 12. So, yung third column natin, multiply natin by 52. 52, not 12, to get the annual consumption in kilos. So, makikita natin ngayon, ganyan kadami yung demand or consumption ng tocino sa Bataan using the number of households. So, ito ngayon yung imamatch natin sa dami ng production ng, let us say, Mekeni, Pampangas Best, at iba pang mga meat processing company para ma-establish natin yung demand and supply gap analysis. Okay, so kailangan pa rin talaga natin mag-research sa mga consumption nila kahit na meron na tayong households. Or pwede tayong mag-interview para makuha natin yung mga average consumptions. Okay, another one ay demand for diaper. Example naman, yung sinolve natin, yung ginawa natin na table, na yun, yung nakuha natin na projection, that refers to the number of infants or number of diaper users, Let us say age 0 hanggang 5. So, paano naman natin makukuha yung total number of diapers in a year na nagagamit? So, pwede kayong mag-umpisa doon sa nakuha nating data at sa nagawa ninyong projection. So, if the average daily usage of diaper is 4, so ulitin ko, kung wala kayong makuha na data, kung ilan talaga ang consumption, you can do interviews para malaman nyo yung mga average usage, average consumption na yan. Okay, pero syempre, yung reliable naman din ang interviewin natin and not just one person. So, a sample din ang population natin. So, let us say, yung number ng infant natin noong 2021 as projected is 1,154,431. Gagamit daw to ng 4 pieces in a day. So, nasa 4,617,724 pieces of diapers ang daily. Then, sa annual, andito sa last column natin. So, abot ng nasa bilyong piraso ng diapers, no? So, in case naman, ang in-establish natin ay demand for diapers. Okay. Next, kumari demand for flour naman. So, nakuha natin yung number of bakeries, ginamitan natin ng projection, kaya ayan, no, may lumabas. So, kunwari lang, using the linear trend, ang lumabas ay 60, 75, 83, 90, 95 for 2021 to 2025. Kasi, mag-o-offer tayo ng, let us say, kamote flour, no? Yan yung product natin, or any other types of flour na i-offer natin sa mga bakeries. Kaya, para makuha natin yung consumption ng flour, pwede nating umpisahan doon sa number of bakeries. So, kung ang average weekly usage daw ng flour, no, in sacks ay 10 sacks in a week, so, multiply ulit natin by 10. O, ilan daw ang bakery? 35. Kada bakery, 10. So, 350 sacks. O, then, yung annual natin, multiply it by 52. So, sa loob daw ng isang taon, by year 2016, the annual usage of flour in sacks is 18,200. Okay, then, for 2025, kung 95 ang bakeries, 950 sacks per week. So, total sacks is 52. So, that is how you make your projection. Okay, so another one, if there's a demand for fashionable, if we want to establish the demand for fashionable face mask, paano naman ang gagawin natin? So, pwedeng mag-start tayo sa population in Bataan. And, tapos, extract natin, kuhanin natin kung ang target lang natin ay 12 years old and above. Or kung female lang ang target natin, so mas marerefine pa yan, mas kukonti kasi female lang ang kukunin natin from the population. So, if according to our source, so palagi nyo ilalagay yun na kung ano yung mga sources na mga kiniklaim ninyo, yung mga average consumption na yan, yung mga age bracket na yan. So, if the total population, kunwari itong nasa second column natin, hindi siya household, kunwari population yon. From the total population, 80% daw dyan ang 12 years old and above, kung iyan yung target market natin. So, iyon yung makukuha natin sa third column. Okay, then, so since to mga fashionable mask daw na to ay hindi naman siya disposable, no? Pwede mo naman siyang labhan. So, ang average number daw ng mga mask na napopurchase in a year, kunwari lang, is 4, no? Pero, i-search natin para malaman natin mag-interview tayo kung ilan talaga ang binibili nila sa isang taon. So, you have to multiply it by 4. Kaya, makukuha natin yung fifth column, which is the mask use per year. No? Multiply lang natin yung third at ang fourth column. Okay, so that's it. So that's the reason why importante talaga yung demand, yung ating household at population kasi doon sa mga grupo na walang makuhang data para sa consumption, ang choice talaga natin ay mag-base tayo sa household or sa population. So, yung medyo madadali ang buhay dito, yung mga target ninyo ay mga businesses. So, from the list, kuhanin nyo lang yung mga number ng mga business na target nyo. If target nyo ang restaurant, target nyo ang canteen, target nyo ang mga food processing business, target nyo ang mga delivery companies. So, iyon ang pagmumulan ng mga demand ninyo. So, in case naman sa mga line ng medical treatment, no, yung mga yung company ninyo na MedTrack, so kailangan nating ma-establish ilan yung mga average na nagpapa-consult, nagpapa-treat, nagpapa-laboratory, yan, para makuha natin yung demand sa product ninyo. Okay, the same din kay Medigo, no, na nagpo-provide ng delivery services when it comes to medicine, no? Or kung meron pa kayong i-combine na ibang mga products coming from the drugstore, so kailangan natin ding ma-establish kung ilan yung mga nagpapa-check up or ilan talaga yung mga may needs pagdating sa mga medical treatment or pagbili ng mga medicines. So, yun ang kailangan natin sa grupo ninyo. Okay, so the rest, yung meron sa inyong tourist ang target market. So, you search also sa website ng Bataan Tourism, baka merong average number of tourists na pumupunta sa Bataan. So, that will help you establish the demand for your restaurant. So, yung iba naman kasi sa inyo, mostly galing talaga sa members ng population ng pagkukuhanan ng demand. I-extract lang natin, no? Kukuhanin nyo lang talaga yung specific na members ng population na kailangan ninyo sa target market nyo. Let us say, sa mga pagkain na konsepto ninyo, hindi naman sila lahat good for people of all ages. So talagang ang kailangan lang natin makuha yung target na age ninyo. Okay, so that's it. So ayusin lang natin, no? So tutulungan ko kayo, ayusin natin yung ating population and household so that you could go on with the further computation of the demand. Then sa supply, stick tayo, mag-search pa rin ng mag-search ng mga competitors natin, ng mga manufacturers natin. So any relevant data na pwede nating pagkuhanan ng supply, kuhanin nyo ng kuhanin yun, no? At pwede nating i-present naman yon sa ating demand and supply analysis. And in case wala talaga tayong makuha, in-explore na natin lahat ng means natin, lahat ng mga choices natin na gawa na natin. So talaga naman ganun class ang research. It will be subjected to limitations. Kaya pwede din naman natin ilagay yung mga naging limitations ng ating research. Kasi umpisa pa lang naman, sinabi ko na sa inyo na mahirap talaga mag-establish ng demand and supply. Lalong-lalo na ang supply, no? Mahirap natin makuha yan. So that will be part of our limitations. Okay, so that's it. Good luck on your chapter 3. Bye everyone!